Ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting live from the Scintillation State Studio in Northern California, home of Ukulele J Barbecue. Get your wood fired up and your charcoal burning as we get our smoke on with the worldwide streaming Strum Pluckin Good Live.
Smoke on, baby. We're going live. It is March 14th, 2021. We've got an incredible top chef, Philip Dell, coming on. This is going to be an amazing, amazing interview. I've been looking forward to this for quite a while. We are on the air live on youtube.com/ukulele-barbecue. Thanks for joining us. And today is going to be an absolutely epic, epic show. We're going to be having on somebody who I really admire. I look up to this man. He has already helped me with a big cook I did a while back. Has fundamentally changed the way that I've done my brisket, my Akiushi brisket, that many of you, my followers and friends on Instagram, have seen. And I want to talk a little bit about Chef Dell. But before I do, I'm going to talk about our sponsors real quick that have helped me with all the cooking that I'm doing. And I really, really appreciate and love every one of them. They're fantastic. We have a new sponsor today, too. So we have Dr. Bill's Candy Maple Syrup. Everybody knows Dr. Bill's. I absolutely love that stuff. We've got Naughtywood Barbecue Pellets, the new rub, the honey, and keep on listening. We got Dat Sauce and Dat Ketchup. Fantastic stuff. I just made a corn salad. Actually, my wife, Ukulele Barbecue's wife, made a corn salad today that it needed a little help. And I gave it some of the Dat Sauce love and some of the new sponsor that I have, Brala's Garlic Whip that I'm going to talk about. And it is now killer. It's going to be, I think, a signature side dish of Ukulele Barbecue with my barbecue. It's fantastic. Ocean State Pepper Company I use for a lot of my seasonings. I love, the Salty Little Devil and the Daily Grind, the salt and pepper mix, the heat. Just love that stuff along with all their other rubs. George Earl's Barbecue Sauce, fantastic sauce. And Jeremy's going to be on, actually. He's going to be the next guest in a couple weeks. We'll talk about that. Billy's Bacon, fantastic bacon. And I am so proud of Billy. I love this guy. He's great. We chat all the time. Hardworking man, running a restaurant, running the most successful bacon business in the United States. Just rated top bacon in MSN.com article. Google it, check it out. He's been listed in the top 10, 13, 15. They changed the numbers, whoever's doing the article. Top bacon producer in the United States. Check out Billy's Bacon. You're welcome. And Voodoo Roasters Coffee, fantastic coffee. Have it all the time. You'll see me posting. Marty's a great guy out of Utah, and their coffee is roasted to order. It is fantastic. Mexican chocolate is what everybody starts with, and that's what I started with, and now I like all the coffee. So make sure you check that out. Also, the meat stick I use for all my cooks, absolutely fantastic. I use it all the time. And the Meat Stick X, which has the Bluetooth extender, which is super far range, like 300 feet. And really appreciate their support. They're also going to be, we're going to be giving away some Meat Stick X on an upcoming contest that I'm doing. I was going to do it, and then I thought, you know what, I'm getting close to the 4,000 mark. We're going to do a big 4,000 bash. I'm only a couple hundred away, so please get your friends to follow me to hit that 4,000 because it is going to be an epic, epic contest with a lot of good stuff. And then Brala's, what can I say? Brala's Garlic Whip, Brala's Best. Fantastic stuff. Nobody else does this. This is, like, to me, the pinnacle of having a product that nobody else has on the market. It is a garlic whip. They have 3 flavors. They've got the regular garlic, they've got the buffalo, and they've got the chipotle. And I've used it to encrust my steaks. It doesn't melt, so it does kind of break down a little bit, but you can actually get a crust on that thing like nobody's business. And if you like garlic and you like those different flavors, chipotle, it's amazing. So today, by the way, they're having a sale, so I told them I'll give them a shout out. Ukulele J Barbecue. I don't throw the code out too around, but today you want to get on there and buy the 3-pack. They're having a special today. They know the show's going on. This is going to be the biggest discount you can get. Ukulele J Barbecue. Go on there, Brala's Best, and get some of that stuff and support local small businesses. These are all family-run businesses. I love the fact they're doing this stuff. And I did a live not too long ago where I talked about not going on Amazon. I bought some stuff from Underwood Ranches from Sonoran Spice Company because I really want to support the small businesses so they make the money, not give it to people that take all the money away. So without being said, I'm going to give you a little bio today on Chef Phillip Dell. And I think it's really important that for those of you that are on Instagram, make sure you go over to youtube.com/ukulele-barbecue. Look at the pin post down below because this is where the action is. So without further ado, here is the information on Chef Phillip Dell. Your jaw's going to drop, so get ready. Have something to drink. It's going to make you thirsty. Chef Phillip Dell, he acquired a certificate of culinary arts at Traverse Bay Area Tech Center and a degree in baking and pastry arts, as well as a minor in nutritional sciences from the prestigious Johnson & Wales University in Rhode Island. Hey, we know Ocean State Pepper Company. Hey, you got a Rhode Island contact. Check them out. He spent several years competing and winning in barbecue contests in the Midwest, so he is a competitor. Professionally, Chef Dell went from a humble start as a butcher's helper at Deering's Meat Market in Traverse City, Michigan, to the pastry sous chef at the Wynn Hotel in Las Vegas. Prior to joining the core group as a chef for the Las Vegas market, Chef Dell developed several entrepreneurial ventures, including Sin City Chefs, an upscale private chef company, and CPD Enterprises, a culinary consulting and catering firm. In 2018, Chef Dell also ventured onto the food truck scene with Fusion Bistro, an elite gourmet food truck. And I know we have a lot of people today, one of their dreams that I've talked to is like they want to own a food truck. So this will be a great show today to talk about that a little bit. And in a single year, Fusion Bistro was featured multiple times on the Cooking Channel on shows such as Carnival Eats and Carnival Kings. Fusion Bistro also received the Best Food Truck Award twice, garnering the coveted award at both the spring and the fall Great American Foodie Festival. Chef Dell's brand new food truck was also named as one of the best food trucks in Las Vegas by the Las Vegas Review-Journal in its annual Best of Las Vegas contest. Fusion Bistro and Chef Dell also garnered top honors at the 2019 Motley Brew's Hot Taco Contest with a win in the Taco Loco category. Throughout his lifetime, Chef Dell has earned numerous awards in multiple fields, including winning the title of Chopped Champion on Food Network's Chopped Cooked Your Butt Off. We'll talking about that today. Being named also the National Educator of Excellence by the National Restaurant Association, and earning the 2016 Teacher of the Year Award by the Nevada Cattlemen's Association. Over the years, he has also won awards in natural bodybuilding and is a 3-time all-natural world champion power lifter. More recently, he seasoned and smoked his way to a perfect score and 3 awards at the 2017 Jack Daniel's World Barbecue Invitational Competition in Lynchburg, Tennessee. Beyond his win on Chopped and his food truck features on the Cooking Channel, Chef Dell has also appeared on the Food Network's Cutthroat Kitchen and the Cooking Channel's Fire Masters. Chef Dell also loves to spread his passion for food by teaching classes internationally and by being a regular on SOS Radio. And if that isn't enough, I don't know what it is. And Chef Phillip Dell, thank you so much for coming to the show and waiting while I read that plethora of information. And that was me cutting it down, by the way. I mean, I know there's a lot more, but I had to get it into like a couple minutes. So thanks a million for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
I'm really amazed because, we met, not too long ago, but we've been talking an awful lot, and you've helped me. And I really am grateful for, not only the barbecue community, but people like you that, somebody reaches out, you actually will talk to. There's a lot of people that will, ghost people, don't respond. They've got, tons of followers. It's all about, Instagram numbers, things like that. But you're like a consummate professional. You're about cooking and helping people. And so, what I want to know first, and we've got a lot of questions today to get through in an hour. We might run a little over, but we'll try to keep it to an hour. When did you start cooking and realize that you wanted to be a chef?
4 years old. I knew I've always wanted to be a chef. My mom used to cook and bake a lot, and so I would join her in the kitchen. And by the time I was 8 years old, I was doing 4-course meals for my parents. Wow. Admittedly, though, sometimes it was to get my sister and I out of the doghouse for not doing our chores. But in any case, I just loved doing it. I've always loved doing it. Most Saturdays, instead of watching cartoons, I watched Martin Yan and Marcel Desaulniers and Julia Child and all those great people on PBS. It was before Food Network even existed. So,
yeah, I did too. And if Yan can cook, so can you, right?
He's a great guy. I met him when I was in college. I'm proud to say that I'm actually taller than somebody in this universe.
He's shorter than you?
So he is shorter than me. People always tell me, "Hey, you're shorter in person. You look taller on TV." That's because we have platforms that we stand behind. And he admitted it to me because I made a little joke, when I was shaking his hand. I said, I can't believe I'm taller than you. And he said, I got a little secret. They put a little platform underneath or behind that counter. So,
he's kind of a Bay Area celebrity, right? Because he's been on a lot of advertisements here in the Bay Area where I live. And there's like a tile company he was doing ads for. So, and I grew up with Martin Yan and with Julia Child and, a whole bunch of those people before, like you said, there was a food show, but those were like, to me, the good old days. It was like it wasn't so commercialized, right? You felt like you really are in the kitchen. Now you feel like, yeah, I'm watching the studio, right? It's just a whole different vibe to it.
Sure.
But I used to love Martin Yan, cut it up, 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 right? That was like I loved when he did that. I got so excited when he cut it up. So with that being said, there's something a lot of people probably don't know about you unless they researched you. And I did a lot of research and discussions, and we never talked about it, but I learned about it, which was, the problem of being overweight. And I bring this up because there's a lot of people that, just like with mental illness and things, are afraid to talk about stuff. And, I'm certainly, I'm pleasantly plump. And I think that's, important to distinguish between being fat. But, my doctor might say otherwise. But who cares about what doctors say? But with that being said, you lost over 90 pounds. I've lost 30. And, I'm kind of where I'm at now. And I want to lose more. And I think you're the guy to do it because, you really inspired me. And for people that haven't seen the Chopped Cook Your Butt Off, there was actually really a story to that episode. It wasn't just about cooking. It was about people that had, extreme weight loss, and I believe doing it naturally, right? No gastric bypass surgery, none
Correct.
of that stuff, right?
Correct.
So I'd like to hear a little bit about that. And as you're talking, I'm going to show real quick. I'm going to show a picture of you, which was actually your original show. That was the photo that was shown on Chopped, and you're in your blue Hawaiian shirt. You've got your orange ribbon. And your sunglasses on. You kind of look like a badass. I like that look, honestly. But I like your look now too. But that's a good look. So was that your peak weight at that time? And people, they're seeing this right now. Was that your peak weight? And if it was, what got you kind of that point? Obviously, with cooking, it's hard. And now, my God, the difference is so extreme. How did all this happen? And take me kind of through that journey real quick.
So what the picture that you're showing, I was at the 44-inch waist kind of spot, but I believe that I was bigger even more when I moved to Las Vegas in 2005. I believe I was even bigger than that, but there comes a point where you just don't get on the scale anymore. And I definitely wore a smaller pant than I should have, kind of thing. But to get to that point, going into college, I had actually become a little fit. When I grew up, I was a chunky kid. I always got the husky pants and, and that kind of thing. And I was always embarrassed about it. I was never able to fit into a normal size pant. Well, when I got to college, I had actually started to lose weight in my senior year of high school. But after college, I didn't gain weight during college. I did not gain the freshman 15, as people say.
I gained.
I waited until after college to do that and fell into the, work really long hours, not any, snack on a few French fries while we're, throwing down, or make some really rich food and eat that while we're working. But other than that, I'd go home and crack a few beers, eat a whole pizza, maybe a dozen wings or something like that, and then fall asleep and do it all over again. And so I basically fell into a very poor lifestyle, for lack of a better way of saying it. And also, my biggest time of year, or not my biggest time of year, but to get myself to that biggest point, unfortunately, my then wife and I lost a child. My daughter died in 2001, and
Sorry to hear that.
What do most people do when they're depressed? They eat. And so I would eat. I didn't have a very physical lifestyle at the time. And it just kind of snowballed, that there was a time when I moved into Las Vegas in 2005, I was starting my life over again. And I literally opened up the curtain in the bathroom after taking a shower. And I don't know what it is about builders putting a mirror right in front of the shower, but it's not okay. But in this case, it worked, because when I opened it up and I saw the picture, what I was looking at in the mirror, I was disgusted. And I said, this has got to stop right now. And from that point on, I cut out all the bad habits cold turkey. No refined foods. I stopped drinking really late. I got more active, even if that meant parking very far away from the door at the grocery store. And walking a little faster. And I just did things a little more deliberately to try to make myself feel better. And all it took was after 1 week, I could feel better, and it became addicting. And so I just kept going and kept going and kept going. I had friends that kept trying to tell me, hey, you know, you need to get to the gym. And I was like, you know what? I'm not ready for the gym. But as I've learned, it's kind of like this, it's just a mental block that most people have, thinking that you can't go to the gym unless you look the part. And, you know, I had a trainer once tell me that the people that have trainers are typically the ones that don't need them. And which made a lot of sense to me. But on the same token, it's like, okay, well then let's break that problem and try to motivate some people some other way. So it took about 17 months. I devised my own program. I started eating more meals, you know, and this isn't anything new, but it's been proven that if you eat smaller meals more times a day, it keeps your blood sugar more level. Your energy levels are higher throughout the day. You don't have crashes in the afternoon or, you know, whatever time of day you have. And then I made them healthier. And I basically started creating all the dishes that I craved into a healthier version without knowing the difference. And so that helped me get through. And I still had a great time. And as I lost after 50 pounds before I even went to the gym. And a friend of mine tricked me. He goes, we're going out. And I said, okay, fine, we're going. And he pulled into the gym and I'm like, what are we doing? He goes, we're going to the gym. And I said, I'm all dressed up. What do we, you know, we're not going to the gym. He goes, I got a bag right there. We're going to the gym.
That's a good friend. That's a good friend.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it was from that point that I went in and one of the trainers saw me and said, hey, you can tell you're dedicated. I said, absolutely. So he gave me my first meal plan and I threw it back in his face. And I said, you know, this is all crap. And he goes, well, what do you mean? I said, well, you're basically, you're not taking all the, there's way more nutrients in other foods. And he goes, wait a minute, you're a chef? And I was like, yeah. He goes, oh, well, then we got to talk. And that's when Sin City Chefs was born. So it took about 17 months and that's when I lost the weight. And I came back from vacation in Traverse City, Michigan. In July, I walked on the beach for the first time in my life without a shirt on because I wasn't embarrassed any longer. And when I came back, my trainer said to me, hey, what do you want to do? Because you're kind of dwindling down into nothing. And I said, well, I want to step on a bodybuilding stage. I've been told my whole life I was going to be, that I was, you know, fat, or I was going to be dead and bald bald or dead by the time I was 30. And I stepped on a bodybuilding stage with a 5% body fat on my 30th birthday.
Wow. And I just clicked on a slide I want people to see is, you know, it also, this ties into your getting fit and doing the powerlifting. And so I'm going to change some slides, but this is you powerlifting. It looks like obviously you're about to blow something out of your body. The look on your face is incredible. It scared me when I first saw it. I'm like, is he okay? And, you know, going back to the mirror thing, you know, it was really funny because, you know, we had a bathroom as well and it had a mirror. And you know, I would always step out and go, sexy. My wife thought it was her, and then she saw me look at the mirror going, sexy. She's like, when we're modeling, there's no mirror. Now there's no mirror seeing anything in the show. Actually, I think there is, but we have the frosted glass. You can't see it, so I can't do it anymore unless I slide it out and then do it. But I can relate. So, yeah, it's incredible, the weight loss journey, and it's a bitch. I mean, excuse my language, to lose weight when you enjoy eating food. I mean, we have a lot in common. I'm a professional bodybuilder, too. Do you know that? I mean, the finest food goes in this body. Yeah, I mean, I've been building this body for a long time. So I kind of get afraid if I lose it, like, what am I giving up? But I know you got to be healthier. And, you know, but the good thing is I'm healthy. You know, go to the doctor. All the blood tests are good. Everything's good. So the doctor says keep doing what you're doing. But, you know, you can't go to excess. I know that. You got to be reasonable. But, you know, you got into the powerlifting thing. And I'm going to show people a slide that is going to blow their mind because obviously you have your shirt on. I'm not going to take your shirt off. And we have women that are watching this. And I know when they see this photo, their jaw's going to drop. Their husband's probably going to slam YouTube off and put it out, get it out of there. But this is definitely you powerlifting. And then we're going to go to you doing your flex, your before and after kind of on Top Chef, where you've got you in the background with the blue shirt. And then, of course, you know, you're giving you the big guns, which was the big win we'll talk about. And then, of course, this is, and I know people are going to be like, holy crap, this is you, Chef Phillip Dell. And you are cut and ripped like Lou Ferrigno, and I think you're short as Lou Ferrigno too, right?
Yeah, he's actually a pretty cool dude. But yeah, you're right. He's not as tall as people think he is.
So I took that off because I know the women will ignore me and just start staring at that picture of the whole interview. But incredible transformation. I mean, God, it's amazing, and what it took you to get that. So, how'd you ever get into powerlifting and competing to win these multiple championships? And then we're going to get into Chopped, which is really kind of the meat today of that story. But let's do one little bit about you. I'd love people to know about the guests, like you as the person. And it's not just about food with everybody. There's a story people have. Your stories are incredible, and I hope you'll obviously come on again because we can't talk about everything today. It's just impossible.
Sure.
But tell me real quick about how you got into powerlifting and competing to win these multiple championships, and what it took to actually do that as far as the preparation and the training.
Well, just like anything, it takes a lot of dedication. And I was going through, I was actually training for just bodybuilding. I'm a natural bodybuilder, or I was a natural bodybuilder at the time. And what that means as a natural means I didn't use any drugs. There was no, I wasn't chemically enhanced at all. But
right.
So during my workouts, I have very intense workouts. I don't wait between sets and so on. I was going through a more strength version of my workouts, and it was very addicting to pick up something extremely heavy, and it's like an adrenaline rush. And so a friend of mine said, "Hey, have you ever thought about powerlifting?" And I was like, "No, not really, but I am enjoying myself." So he told me about some guys that were working out at another gym, and I started doing both. And, the misnomer is that powerlifters can't bodybuild because of the eating style is completely different. And that picture that you probably showed of me lifting during the deadlift was only a week away from a bodybuilding competition. So my son at the time came up to me, goes, "Dad, you're the most ripped guy here." And I was like, well, it was more for me, just like the bodybuilding thing. It was kind of one of those things where I wasn't growing up. I wasn't really bred to do that. I was always told I wasn't going to ever be able to do that pretty much. And I proved people wrong. So I more or less said, you know what, let's be the strongest bodybuilder. So I kind of got into that. And again, it's just like anything else that most people do. Once you get started, if you start to enjoy it, you get addicted to it. And that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, that's a great story. And I know we could probably talk a lot more about it. And I know that, the dedication to that must have been just insane. It's such focus, laser focus on doing that, which is, we've talked, we're both type A, and I know you are a perfectionist in everything you do. And with that being said, I want to get into Chopped because the story of you getting there is incredible. And if people that are watching the show have not seen Chopped, Cook Your Butt Off, I believe it's season 15, episode 9.
Right.
It's on Discovery Plus for free. You can watch it. And if not, don't be a cheap ass. Pay the $1.99 or $2.99 on Amazon, whatever, and pay and get it and watch it because I want to talk to you about it. Obviously, when we do IG Lives, this is going to be a chat for quite a while. But it's an incredible show, and there's some stuff that happened in it that, you're just like the comments the judges made and things that happened. So, Philip, tell me about you getting there, and then I want to talk about that episode and some specifics that I saw that I want to ask you questions about.
Well, I was cooking for a law office at the time, and it never fails. The phone always rings, a lunch rush or something for chefs, it seems. And that's exactly what happened. I got a phone call, and I was in the middle of everything, and I muted it, and I ignored it pretty much. And after lunch, I checked it out. They had left a message, and it was a producer asking me to call them back. And which of course I did. And they were like, "Hey, have you ever thought about Chopped?" I was like, "Are you kidding me? I'll be there tomorrow." Well, what I didn't know is that that's pretty much how fast they work. And they were like, "Fill out this application and come do a video for the other producers in New York so that they can see who you are and if they want to choose you." And so my wife and I pretty much 2 days later, we're in California doing that videoing. And we had to wait, I believe it was like 60 days or something like that. I never heard a word after that. And then in 60 days, I received an email saying you've been chosen. And I'm not gonna lie, I was once again, I was at the law office cooking. this time, I'm very, very type A when it comes to if I hear a ping in my email or something, I have to look at it. It was the Food Network. I ran down the hall like a little schoolgirl. It was, I was screaming. I was like, you got to check this out. You got to check this out. And so, yeah, I have no idea really how they found me, but they said that, they have their ways is how it was put to me. And so that's kind of how we got there. Once I got there, I was in miserable pain about a week before the competition, before the filming. I was in miserable pain. My neck hurt, my back hurt, my arms hurt. And I didn't really know why. All I knew is that I was just very in a lot of pain. And I still moved on. We went to New York. It was around Christmas time that we did the filming, and miserable weather. It was cold. It was rainy, but hey, we were there. And at 4 a.m. that morning before the filming, I was pounding on the hotel room floor in absolute agony. And my wife said, "Hey, do you want to just go to the ER and scrap this?" I was like, "No, the devil's trying to stop me. We're going." And we met at
Oh, Philip, what happened? We lost you? Did you lose your signal? I think, Philip, what happened here, buddy? I think you're breaking up. I know you're there. I just heard you a little bit. There you go. Did your Wi-Fi go on the glitch? You're back.
I don't know.
I see you now.
There you go.
You're good.
You good?
Yeah, we're good.
We're good.
You mentioned the devil, and look what happened. All the stuff froze up, man. Leave that guy out of the conversation.
No, I'm not kidding you. It's happened before.
Yeah, I know, exactly. But we have the power, right? We are more powerful. So, yeah, so you were on the floor writhing. Did you go to the ER? Like, what did you do? I mean, how did you get on there if you were in that much pain?
No, I didn't go to the ER. I'm like, we're going. We're just gonna go to the show, and I'm gonna film, and that's the way it is. Now, during the entire filming, I didn't let them know that I was in pain.
They would have asked you.
That would have been a bad idea, because if I told them that I was in pain, they would have chopped me, most likely because of possibly for insurance reasons, or however they wanted to spin that. But I didn't let them know until after.
Well, that was probably a smart move on your part, considering you won Chopped, which was awesome. And it's funny because I think we were talking before that you were doing some type of practice with your wife, like to get ready, because Chopped, they give you all those ingredients, they give you some weird stuff that like either people hate or never use. How did you prepare for like all these weird combinations? Because you got a weird, we'll talk about it. You got a weird thing that most people don't even know how to cook or what it is. And, one of the gals got chopped, put it raw on the plate, which I was just like, honey, you're chopped. I mean, for certain, sure enough, she got chopped. But how did you prepare for it's almost like, the kids in the spelling bees. They do all this stuff or a Jeopardy. These guys have this stuff in their brain, every like weird, obscure fact. How do you know how to use these weird, obscure foods that get thrown at you? And I think he's locked again. Wow. Devil's in the details. Okay, Philip, move that phone around. Let's get you back on here. And while we're waiting for him to get back, you're still connected. And I don't know why your phone's frozen a little bit. Maybe it's the cell signal. And, one of the things that Chef Phillip Dell was tasked to use was bitter lemon. And, when I saw it, I was thinking, I don't know how to use bitter lemon. But it looks like he is. Oh, there you are. You're back now. All right. You there? Now I don't hear you. Lost the audio on you. So while you get that ready, you had to use bitter lemon. And one of the things that the contestant did, which was great, is she cut the bitter lemon raw and put it on the plate. And I knew right away that was a big mistake, because bitter lemon is not something that I think it was bitter lemon is not something you typically will give somebody raw. So did you see her do that, or are you all there when they're giving this stuff? They cut the scenes. How does that all work? Hopefully your audio is back. There you are. Okay.
First of all, I want to make sure that you can hear me.
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. I don't know what's going on today, man. I tell you, like you said, I brought up the D word. I don't see, right?
Hey, it's okay. I know you'll come back. It's all right. It's all good. We're more powerful. We'll overcome this.
Yeah, no kidding.
So the bitter lemon. Were you like, or bitter melon. It was bitter melon, right?
Right, bitter melon.
Bitter melon, yeah. So were you watching like when she did this, and were you thinking like, what the heck is she doing? Or are you like so zoned you don't even care what they're doing or think about it? Or because I see people looking like, what are they doing? What are they doing? Like, oh, I'm going to do this. Because pretty soon you see people on Chopped, somebody's doing the same thing or the same version of the same thing. And I don't know if it's coincidence or because somebody looks, it's kind of like, not that I ever did it in school when you cheated, but it's kind of like, what's that kid doing over there? Oh, okay, I'm going to do that. How does that work?
Well, so yes, I paid attention, but not really. I was very focused on my own game. I didn't want to have to worry about anybody else because I was there to do my thing. So I didn't notice what she did until the end. After we were all done plating, I went back and, we're all kind of looking at each other's stuff. But other than that, it's kind of like, do your thing. You can't worry about anybody else.
Yeah. Well, so obviously, I watch people getting chopped and watching, I know you won, but, a lot of people think, well, it's boring. We know you won, but it's not because of what people were making. And one of the things you did, and my wife and I even looked and I'm like, oh man, he's going to get chopped. He had bones in the fish, brother.
Oh,
bones in the fish. And, that's obviously, I thought for sure that they would chop somebody for that. And obviously your flavors were so powerful. And I would think the judges know something like that is going to happen. I've been in fine dining restaurants where you find a bone and some people flip out, waiter, I have a bone in my fish, and they want to be comped or, they're not, send the plate back. Are they that cool? Like they know those little things? Because obviously I've seen people chopped for that, for having bones in the fish. And there were some pretty tough people. I mean, Chef Samuelson was on that show. Alex was on there, Scott Conant. And, with the bitter melon, I think it was Scott that said, like, I couldn't put that in my mouth. Right? That's something like that. I was laughing when he made that comment about the bitter melon, which he served it raw. But, you had the bones of the fish. At that point, when they got the bone, were you thinking, like, crap, I'm done? Like, this is it? Or did you think, like, it's okay?
Well, first of all, so when I was in the process, I didn't have all the tools I needed. We weren't allowed to have all the tools we needed. And I knew that when I couldn't get all the bones out, I just had to go for it. And so I took the risk. So when they said that to me, did I feel like out there they were going to chop me up? Yeah, of course. But at the same token, they absolutely love the flavor. And I was just hoping that it would carry through on the flavor. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and it did. That was great. And so I think you locked up again. So you'll be back hopefully in a minute here. So with that being said, I thought for sure you would have got chopped at that point. You didn't, which was good. But the thing that was the pinnacle for me was the healthy dessert. And I think you're back with us now. The healthy dessert, when they gave the ingredients, and it was clotted cream, passion fruit puree, I believe, and spirulina. I don't know if spirulina powder and sponge cake.
Spirulina powder.
Yeah, right. and sponge cake. And that was an interesting thing. And so you ended up doing, it's genius. I never would have thought you could do this with angel food cake. You did fruit salad with angel food croutons. I have never in my life heard of angel food croutons. Take me through the dish. What made you think about doing that? And how do you get angel food croutons?
Well, so basically croutons are just toasted bread or stale bread. And so I just cubed them up. I put them into the oven at a low temperature and I sort of dried them out. The dish reminds me of something that would be amazing, like on a warm, like a hot afternoon or a hot morning. And I was thinking to myself, well, clotted cream, we can turn that into a cheesecake dressing, and that's pretty much what I did. I went and got mascarpone cheese and I used some of the clotted cream to make it creamier. I added some sweeteners and kind of went from there. And I had the spirulina, which if you've never had spirulina, it's dry algae. So, yummy.
Delicious.
Great
My dad
stuff.
watches this show, by the way. He's probably saying, that's disgusting. My dad thinks everything I eat is disgusting. So, anyways.
Well, if you want to know it's nasty, that's bitter melon. So,
Okay.
But if, the spirulina, I knew I had to do something with that. So I added some mint and some sugar and I put it into a Mr. Coffee grinder and I macerated or marinated the fruit in it.
Right.
And then I took the passion fruit puree, added that to the cheesecake, quote unquote, cheesecake dressing. And then just assemble it all. I put a little passion fruit in the bar. I made like a coulis and put that on the bottom of the plate. And, you know, textbook actually style desserts, but, you know, Chef Samuelson didn't quite appreciate it as much.
That's right. And I actually, it's so hilarious you just said that, because we haven't talked right before this about Chef Samuelson at all.
Correct.
This is how sync we are. I picked up on it. I wrote it down, and I'm like, Chef Samuelson slammed you. He said, yeah, it's a dish. It's not a dish. It's not a dessert. It's really just a dish. So it was like he really got you on that. Like, or it's not a full dessert. It's not a full dessert. It's just a dish. And I think that's what you're talking about. And then
exactly.
So I was like, oh man. I mean, knowing you win is kind of cool, because you're like, who cares what they say? He's gonna win. My champ's there. And, at the end when you won, my wife and I were like, yeah, he won. And you're doing it was so cool. I was pumped. Even though I know you won. It was great.
That was the only time during the entire show that I felt kicked in the stomach. It was pretty brutal.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't hold back at all. And that's what I wonder on those chefs. How much are they cutting in that show, or versus when you're seeing the actual comments? Because I learned on these shows that people wear like the same outfits because they blend and cut scenes together a lot. Was that all like a one take thing as it was going on, where you're cooking and you go right to the tasting, so the food obviously is hot or it's cold? How does it work in the way of timing, and how long did it take to actually film that show?
Well, so in terms of each round, they're usually really like from start to finish about an hour and a half. However, everything else is real time. Like we had 20 minutes or we had 30 minutes or, whatever. And there's only a few minutes between the time that that we stop, they get the dish, and then we come back out on, in front of them to be slaughtered, under the firing line, if you or not slaughtered, whichever the case. But the entire show, I was there for 17 and a half hours.
Wow. 17 and a half hours nonstop. That's like, do they tell you what to do? Like, go stand here, go do this here. Do they show you like, here's the cooler, here's what the stuff is? Because people can find stuff. One guy that got chopped early, before you, he was having a problem looking for something. He's like, okay, whatever. And he opened the I don't know if it was a cooler or some cabinet, refrigerator. He couldn't find it. So do they not tell you where stuff's at? Because when you guys are running around, how do you know where all that stuff's at to go grab?
We had a 3-minute tour before the show started.
Oh, that's nice. 3 minutes. That's good.
3 minutes.
Wow, that's amazing. How were the judges off camera? Like, were you able to talk to them? Did you get any time with like Marcus Samuelson or Alex? She was on there, and she can be pretty brutal and stuff too. Did you get to like shake their hand afterwards, talk to them? Was like, hey, you did a good job, hang out, have some drinks? Like, what happens? Or you're done, they walk out, you walk out? I mean, how does that all work?
Yeah, we don't really have any time whatsoever with them, what I would call casually.
Right.
It's we didn't get to meet them beforehand. We didn't get to chat after, because I went to the very end, I was able to do a little more.
Right.
Than anybody else because I was done. But, because they joked, like kind of backing up a little bit into fish. I grew up in the Midwest, in the Great Lakes, and where fish is fantastic. Mm-hmm. And I was bodybuilding. I went 17 weeks, 8 meals a day eating fish. And so I OD'd, and I hate it. So, and I let them know that. And when I got done, I remember, Ted Allen joking. He goes, "So, how you like fish now?" And I'm like, I'm liking it a little bit better, but
yeah,
So there was really no interaction before or after, but at the end, there was some opportunity to shake hands and say hi and everything else, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's great. It was a great story. I loved watching it. It was great. And you at the end, doing your flex about, I'm the winner, and your little pose. I got to learn that pose and do some shots like that. That's pretty cool how you do that. It's kind of nice. Like, people tell me smile. Like I've asked people on shots, oh, smile. And I like that kind of bad boy look. Like, yeah. But
I get criticized all the time for not smiling. I have to smile back. Everybody's like, love that smile. I wish you'd do it more. So,
Yeah. Well, well, we'll smile a lot more when we get together cooking. We're going to be smiling and laughing. I assure you. The other thing you did is you made a comment. Then we're getting your other championships. You made a comment that was really cool. He said, like, I want to go to my high school reunion and show them my beautiful wife, kind of like, yeah, what do you think now, mofo? Kind of, because they used to call you names in high school. Did you go to that reunion? Did you kind of give them the shit, as far as like, look at me?
So I didn't go to the reunion because it didn't happen. It got canceled. So we were going through some other stuff. When the reunion did happen, everybody wanted me to come. I think even this year, that's supposed to happen. Hopefully, last year's got canceled too. But at some point I will do that. A lot of people that I guess we didn't get along in high school. I'm friends with most now, which is cool. But so to answer your question, no, I never was able to do that. But
okay, well, that was like I thought a fitting comment. Yeah, it was kind of cool. But so I want to get into your championships. Got a lot of wins. Tell us about winning the Las Vegas International Food Festival and how that whole process worked and what your winning dish was.
Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about the World Food Championships?
Yeah, the World Food Championships, exactly.
So the World Food Championships is gigantic, and then every year they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they bring on sponsors just like everybody. And one of their sponsors had a opportunity internationally where people could get some of their products, develop a recipe, and that's what I did. And I got a mojo marinade, and I wanted, a lot of my style is fusion. I like to incorporate flavors from around the world and put them all onto one plate, and make them harmonious. We can't get along politically, but we can get along at the dinner table. So, and that's what I did, and it was a creamy. Basically, what I did is I did a mojo marinated short rib that I had smoked for a while, and topped it with a caramelized onion bacon jam, laced it with a sweet addiction sauce, and served it with a cheesy jalapeno grit. And it's pretty lights out. It's pretty lights out.
That bacon jam is making the way right now around on the circles and talking to people. They're just into the bacon jam for sure. And the sweet addiction, that's your sauce, right? You have a sauce that has it been out, or did you just come out with it?
It is. It is on the market. It's in a couple stores. So hopefully we'll get on I'm looking for an internet provider to an internet store to carry it. That way people can grab it wherever they are.
Oh wow, yeah, because I know the people that on IG the barbecue, they're gonna want to get a bottle. I mean, I'm buying stuff like crazy. My wife's like, "You're buying something else?" I mean, I got sauces and rubs I'm ordering, but that's the fun. I like trying it all, and that's good that you have a sauce. I mean, is that the sauce that you used to win that championship, right? That was it?
Yes, that is exactly the sauce. And I use that sauce in all my barbecue competitions. It's a secret ingredient for many other things. So.
Wow. Okay, well, I'll have to get that sauce for sure because I definitely like the secret ingredients. I know your huge passion's barbecue, and you've won many of the contests, including a major barbecue championship. What was the one with the one in Tennessee that you did, which was the Invitational? Basically, it was the Jack Daniel's Invitational, right?
Sure. Yeah, the Jack Daniel's World Barbecue Invitational is, most people would call that the most prestigious contest in the world, and to win a grand championship. And if you win 7 of them, you get an automatic into the Jack. But if you don't, then you go. Basically, they take a bung from the cask, and they put your name on it, your team name. They throw it into a hat for each state. And of course, I was in. The way it works is that I would be considered for Utah because that's where I won the contest, and then they would do it in Nevada as well. And basically, so I was able to get into the Jack. We went into the Jack. So there's over 100 teams from around the world. It's pretty daunting. Every single one of the people there have won, in multiple cases, won many times. I mean, there were teams there that had won over 15 times that year. It's pretty intense. But again, you just kind of stick to your game and do your thing. They have, of course, the 4 main categories in standard barbecue is brisket, pork shoulder, ribs, and chicken. And then they also have other categories like chef's choice or sauce, desserts, and so on. And it was our first year ever being in that contest, and to hear our name called 3 times was absolutely ridiculously exciting. I had people that have known me for years, send me messages later saying, we were there, we were in the back, and it was very exciting to see you run up on stage. Because I get a little excited. People kind of, make fun of me. I get very, very excited when I hear our name called. So.
That's awesome. So what were the 3 things you actually won? What were the 3 out of those 4?
So chicken, we got our name called in chicken. We did it in dessert and chef's choice.
Wow. So on the chicken, they always do chicken thighs? Is that what they do in the competitions? Or is it any chicken?
You can do anything you want. And at the Jack, you have to do dark meat and white meat.
Oh, okay.
So we did thighs and we did wings. Most people don't understand or don't know that wings are actually a white meat. So that's what we use for the chicken. For the chef's choice, we did a pork tenderloin. My wife taught me how to, and I say that very, very wholeheartedly. My wife taught me how to make the best whipped potato in the world. And she does. She makes like the best. Dude, seriously, like lights out. I'll stack them up at your grandma's any day of the week.
My grandma did make whipped potatoes. Sorry.
Okay, well, then your mom's. But anyway, so we topped that with a caramelized apple and Thai pepper chutney, and it's lights out. It's really, really good.
Wow.
The dessert, I did a pumpkin cheesecake. We used ginger snaps for the crust.
My wife loves that.
I made a praline sauce and salted caramel, and we used maple cream and good stuff.
You hit like every top flavor, man. That is the money right there. God, unbelievable. That's so cool. So one of the things people always ask people that are barbecue champs and in the world cooking, what kind of cookers you're using, and we'll get into Grace. I think you're proud of Grace, right? And we're going to show people. We're going to show people Grace. I've kept that kind of under wraps. But do you have a particular type of smoke? Forget Grace. Can't use Grace. Other smokers, maybe ones with name brands on them. What do you do? Because you did a review recently on kind of smokers, right? Like the Weber kettles, things like that. And I think I've got a lot of them as well. What do you like cooking on if you don't need to have a huge smoker and you're just going to cook small, maybe for your wife or a couple friends? What do you like to barbecue on?
Well, I have 19 different grills and smokers, so I get to pick pretty much any day that I want. I have.
Can you repeat that for my wife, please?
Right. It's an expensive hobby, man.
I know.
So I have that I use on a regular basis. I have a Kamado, okay, which is quite unique and it's in its own. I have a 270 smoker as a cabinet smoker. That thing is fantastic, man. In fact, I just posted this morning on Instagram you can bake. I mean, you can bake in any grill and smoker, but I love using that one to bake with. It's also my favorite chicken and rib cooker for barbecue competitions. It's just It's an amazing smoker, and that's 270 smokers. I do use Gateway smokers, the drum smokers. They're quick and
I want a drum bad. Yeah.
Quick and fast. I never wanted one because I'm short. And the reason why I say that is because, you have to reach down inside there, and it's not exactly easy to do when you're short, but I got one to play with, and one of my sons was like, that's seriously the best ever. And so the best barbecue. So we have a couple of those that we like to play with on a regular basis. And my pellet smokers, I have 3 different types of pellet smokers. I have Traegers, I have Yoder smokers, and I also have a Cook Air. The Yoder YS 1500, in my opinion, is the best horizontal pellet cooker on in the world. I absolutely love it. It gives you the most Texas style or stick burner product using pellets, and of course, I love using. And when it comes to fuels and things like that, of course, I use lump charcoal. Royal Oak charcoal is my favorite. when it comes to pellets, knotty wood, barbecue, I love the almond, and now they have the plum, which is fantastic. Hey,
Yep.
check it out.
Check it out.
And, you know, and I like to mix the two to get different flavor profiles.
Yes.
You know, I love, you know, like using different styles of wood. You know, I've got, there's a company called VIP Barrel that soaks all of their wood in different types of spirits.
Ooh.
Which, you know, a lot of people would say that that's, you know, wow, why would you do that? Why don't you just drink it? You know, but it does give a very unique flavor. And, you know, again, especially when you're cooking, you have to layer flavors, and that's one way to do it. So
right. That's now you said you have a hasty bake, right?
No, I don't have a hasty
you
bake.
don't have a hasty bake. Okay. I thought somebody had a hasty bake. Yeah, I have the Yoder YS640. I love that thing. And I have a PK 360 that I love cooking on. And then I have a custom stick burner getting built. I can't wait to get that probably in the summer so I can do that as well. And I just got a little Pitmaster. Have you seen the mini tabletop pellet smoker? It's fantastic. Sure. Portable. Got a battery pack for it so I can do it mobile. It's kind of slick, you know. So that was a lot of fun. So you know, next I want to get into is you had a pet project, a special project dear to your heart. We talked about it. You know, there were some ups, there were some downs, and I want to talk about Grace. I'm going to go to the slideshow, and I'm going to show people here a shot as we get through some of these. And I'm showing the hood, if you will, of Grace with the B&M shifter. Take me through this incredible monster smoker and what you did to get it to where she is today.
So just before, in 2001, I went to the I went to the American Royal in Kansas City. And I think actually it was in 2000. And I stumbled upon an absolutely stunning smoker. And come to find out, it was Jamie Gear, also known as Jambo Pits. And I have wanted one ever since. But they are a bit pricey. You can buy a car for the same price as a Jambo Pit. But they are extremely worth it. So just before COVID hit, you know, I'm part of all these different groups, just like everybody probably on, you know, the internet and whatever. And somebody had posted a picture of a smoker they had for sale, and it was in my price range. It was a Jambo, or that's how it was advertised. And I got a hold of the guy. My wife approved it. So it took me literally, we were at Chili's having dinner, and she's like, yeah, go ahead. And before she even got it out of her mouth, I was sending a message to the guy saying, hey, it's sold. I will call you later. We will check it out. So I had somebody go down and get it for me and bring it up to me from Texas. And it was, you know, my first Jambo. I mean, what can you say? It's exciting, right? Well, I called Jamie Gear to talk about this smoker, and come to find out, it wasn't technically a Jambo. It was a gear pit. And the reason why we call it a gear pit is because before Jambo existed, the business name Jambo, Jamie had built a couple different smokers for people. So it was one, if I understand correctly from Jamie, it was one of the first 3 he had ever made. So wow. It's a vintage. And it was a little rough in terms of its appearance. So I wanted to bring it to its, I wanted to bring it back, you know, I wanted to bring it back to its full glory. But so through all my connections and everything, I was introduced to somebody that is a vintage car guy. So he said, hey, I have the ability to bring this back. You know, we can paint it, we can do different things. And of course, once he got it into his hands, you know, I refer to all my smokers as Corvettes, and they look very pretty. I keep them that way. I'm very proud of them. And this was going to be absolutely no different. So I wanted to take the opportunity to bring it back to its former glory and also incorporate my love for classic cars. So this was the perfect guy for it. We went ahead and he has all kinds of cars on his in his grasp, and he formed a skin of a 65 GTO cowl hood with the scoop on it, and we were able to size it to the top of the storage bin on the smoker, and that's kind of how it all started. We have various things that we took
think you locked up. There you go. Keep on going. We got you. I think you're frozen up again. I've been showing the slides of that, of Grace. Absolutely incredible.
And
they're still
into the drain.
Still breaking up a little bit.
We add milk.
So let's go real quick here. Yeah, this is the B-name shifter here on the top. It's incredible. That's a stunning shot. I love it. And all the chrome on there, the diamond plating you did. I think those are the original mag wheels as well on there, and a full shot of the smoker profile. Massive firebox on there, and a gorgeous the red truck there, the Dodge. It looks like to pull that. So really cool looking at all that stuff. And I think we lost Chef Dell. So, and it's actually perfect timing because we're wrapping up. It's 1:56. We're looking at 2 o'clock, and we're going to basically get him reconnected on Instagram Live. So it's actually kind of perfect timing. And he's going to get on and take some questions from people that want to ask him some questions on Instagram. So we'll go there, and here he is. Looks like he's going to pop back in again. Still waiting for the audio. Might take a second to connect. We're just about ready to wrap up, but hopefully we'll get him back for some final thoughts. And Philip, you back there yet?
Sorry, man. This is ridiculous.
That's all right.
One attack after another.
You know what, though? It's okay. I show people the shots. It was really cool. You have a Dodge truck pulling that? Is that a Dodge?
Yes.
Yeah. So Dodge versus Ford, is that even a choice, or are you just a Dodge guy, or it ended up being that way?
It just ended up happening that way, more or less because Dodge has an extremely good towing capacity.
Right. Okay. Well, that's good. So, I was telling people that we're gonna hop off here, and we're gonna go on Instagram because you've been gracious enough to move over there so we can. I've got the honorable 4-way video chat now icon, and we'll get on together. And then if people want to ask questions, we'll pop people on just one at a time to keep it simple, so they can ask you questions. Because some people have commented like, "Well, I want to ask them and get a tip," things like that. So I told them you were gracious enough to give us like 15 minutes. So if you're good with that, we'll get off here, and I'll wrap up the show, and then I'll see you on my phone on Instagram Live.
That sounds great.
Well, hey, thanks a million. I really appreciate you, Chef. You're a great guy, and I hope that we can be friends for many, many years to come. And now that I've got the vaccine, can get down there, of course, to Vegas, and we can not worry too much about this COVID and actually cook and just have a good time. And maybe we'll do some lives, down there. People can hop on and bring people on while we're cooking. That'd be a lot of fun.
That'd be great.
Great. Well, hey, thanks a lot, and we'll see you on Instagram. And I want people to know that, there was one more thing that I wanted to bring up before we get off, and you were bringing up a picture on your Instagram feed that just really amazed me, and that's the sausages you did with the, I think it's the blueberries in them, and it's like a big, whole, long description. Can you tell us real quick about that, and how did you even get that idea to do that with the sausages?
So Bill Dumas, the sausage sensei, from down near the Austin area. Had the distinct pleasure of meeting him we were at the same event at the Bruin Q in Australia a couple years ago. Became really good friends, and we decided to have a class here in Las Vegas in January. And so that's kind of where it started. We did 4 different styles of sausages, and one of them was the blueberry sausage. And the flavors are absolutely spectacular. On its own, obviously you could have it at any time of day, but one of our favorites was to actually dip it in like a waffle batter, we did a malted waffle, and then basically cook it after it was already smoked. We would dip it in that batter and then fry it just like basically like a corn dog, and drizzle it with a salted caramel and powdered sugar. It became like a dessert. So it was literally a spectacular sausage.
A dessert sausage. That's a new one to me. That's awesome. God. Well, hey, thanks a million, and we'll hop on Instagram Live for everybody. Thanks for watching the show today, everybody. And make sure that you check in on March 28th. We're going to have Jeremy Dunn. He is the founder and the person that's behind George Roll's barbecue sauce. And for those of you that may have missed the show, come on late, you're on Instagram and didn't know to come on YouTube, we are going to be posting this. This will be on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/ukulelejbarbecue for all eternity for people to see. and that we overcame the devil today and what he was trying to do, which is good. And we're also going to be on all the podcasts. I'm on all the major podcast networks. I just started that not too long ago. This is our 8th episode, and we are on the Apple Play Store, on Spotify, Google, as far as their podcasts are concerned, and the Apple iTunes Store. So with that being said, thank you, everybody, for watching. And please stay tuned for my posts and my announcements for the next upcoming show. And we look forward to seeing everybody again. I really appreciate your support. And remember,